Mentality of polarity has saved me from so many things and has healed me in a different way that I could ever imagine. Hello and welcome back to my car talks, I guess. I just recently graduated college about a year ago. You can only imagine the type of stuff that I've been going through mentally. I feel like this has been truly one of the hardest transition periods I have gone through yet. I feel like coming out of college was really like my full send to really truly discovering myself and what I wanted to do and where I wanted to take life. As I was doing these smaller analyzations of healing and what it looked like to be healed, what needed to be healed in myself, and what type of journey I was about to embark on, I started to find out little things along the way and little sayings that was helping me and just mentalities I was developing. The mentality of polarity has saved me from so many things and has healed me in a different way that I could ever imagine. Let me describe what I mean by the mentality of polarity. It is the idea that light and dark have to exist at the same time. So it's like there could be a dark situation, but there's always going to be a light in it. And there could be a light situation, but there's always going to be a dark in it. And always understanding that there's polarity in everything that exists. Like there's never going to be one side. And that also falls into like truths. Like at the end of the day, like there's always two truths to a story. And if you look at a situation where it's between two different people and they're having an argument, it's like the way that one person, person A, views the situation is a truth, because at the end of the day, that's their emotions, that's their feelings, that's their perspective. Everything that they've went through is valid for them to be able to respond to the situation this way. But then there's also person B, and they also have a truth in their response to whatever is happening in the situation. It's not to say that either of them are correct and there's a right person and there's a wrong person, but there's an understanding that there are wrongs in each situation, but there also are truths in each situation. And when I started to develop this mentality, when I tell you my relationships changed, when I tell you that I started seeing situations completely different, coming back home and I back in the fall and I was like first starting this new journey that I was going on, I was having such a hard time being in my hometown. And I'm a true believer in that God never makes mistakes and he places you exactly where you need to be, exactly when you need to be there. If you are truly meant to be in a different state, God will give you that opportunity. He will open that door to put you in a different state. Coming out of college, we're kind of like questioning the world and questioning everything around us and our situations and where we're at. We're feeling stagnant at times. And it's so easy to ask yourself why and to be frustrated and to be angry almost. Like I would never sit here and say that there wasn't times where I was angry at God. I was like, I don't get what you're doing with me. I'm confused and I'm so angry. But now when I look back at those times, I'm just like, wow, like I'm glad that I was angry and frustrated because, you know, it allowed me to release those emotions so I can sit here today and be able to reflect on them. There's so much polarity in that situation. Like I look back at that time and I'm like, wow, I see the light. Like I genuinely see the light in that situation. Me at that time, I didn't see it. I was confused. I felt like I was in darkness. I was so stagnant. I was like, what is going on? But it's like I look back at it and I see the light. And that oftentimes happens with everything that happens in our lives. Like we go through very difficult situations, we go through very difficult times, and we sit down and we're kind of like, oh, why do I have to go through this? Like, what is this teaching me? What is happening? And sometimes you don't even ask yourself that question in that moment because you're so frustrated. But when you look back and reflect on it, you see the lesson. You're like, oh, if I didn't go through this, if I didn't learn this, I wouldn't be exactly where I am today. When I look back at this idea of polarity and that, you know, there's light and dark, they coexist at the same time, it obviously started a lot during my walk with God, like really learning about God and learning about the spiritual side of the kingdom and, you know, how there is evilness out there. There is wickedness, there's evilness, but at the same time, there's also righteousness and there's light. If they have to coexist at the same time, and I'm here coexisting with it, that means that everything around me also has to have a light and dark situation in it. I was kind of in this period of my life where I was counting my blessings every single day. I was trying to be really grateful for everything that I have because I truly am so blessed. Like I am genuinely so blessed. I'm so rich in the spirit and I thank the Lord every single day for that. And I was like, this is so wrong for me to sit down and to pretend that like I am not wealthy in the spirit. I'm not rich in the spirit. To complain and to be moping and groping around all the time. When that was when I really decided to take this turn. Like, I want to count all my blessings. Like, every single day I want to wake up and be like, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for this. Because truly, I would go complain about something, and all of a sudden my mind would be like, okay, but this is also this, like, you also have this, like, this is also happening at the same time. And I'm like, wait. And it literally transforms your mentality. Like, when you tell people to focus on the positive and focus on the good, like, that can seem so, like, cliche. It can seem like, oh, you're kind of dismissive of what's happening in the situation. But genuinely, when you start to focus on the good, you will start to see the good in every situation. You will start to see the polarity and understand the polarity of everything. I've even had a few friendships where I've gotten into arguments with them, and I look back at those friendships, I reflect on those friendships in those periods of times, and I'm like, I I didn't really hold up the best part as a friend. Like, I could be mad at this person because they did X, Y, and Z to me. But I know that they also have a truth. The best thing that you can ever do is forgive somebody and to be able to see the light in, or the truth of their perspective on the side of whatever happened. Because once you see that, you're like, okay, I love you. You allow God to fulfill your life, and you also allow them to see God, for God to be able to bless them in their life. Or that you sit down and you're like, I want the worst thing ever to happen to this person. There is only one truth in this situation, and I was right. The more you allow the darkness to consume you, because now you're only seeing the situation from a dark situation. You're not seeing it from the light. There was genuinely light in those situations. And when it comes even down to the lessons that you're learning, it is so crazy, you guys. Like, this is something that I can talk about for a very long time, because when I started to see polarity in everything in life, everything started to make sense. I understand why someone may respond in a situation they do. I understand why someone feels the way that they do. It has helped me so much more with my conversations and my relationships with people. It has helped me look at my life and be able to be like, I have a great life. Like, it may not be this glamorous life that people have on social media, but I have a great life and I live a great life, and I'm so blessed. And it just allows me to genuinely see the light in life. Amazing thing about polarity is that, yes, I see light, but I also see dark. Like, I do, because I'm human at the end of the day. So it's like, I'm going to see the dark in situations. I'm going to be upset at certain things. I'm going to see that, like, oh, this is a negative. And that is like one of the best things I think about having this mentality of like, okay, where there's darkness, there's also lightness. I read something, I saw a TikTok, something somewhere, that talked about how the brain is just naturally better at picking up the negatives of situations. Like, if you were to get comments online underneath your picture, and there was one bad comment but there was 1,000 positive comments, like, your brain is obviously going to hyperfixate on that negative comment. And ever since I saw that, that has been something that stuck with me for so long, because of course a bad situation is going to happen, and I'm automatically going to focus on the negative. Like, I'm automatically going to be able to point out the negative, like anybody. But when you start to understand this mentality of polarity, that, like, okay, if there's darkness, there's lightness, then it helps you kind of lead you to that lightness and be like, okay, but there is a positive right here. I'm seeing a positive here. And if you can't see it now, eventually you will see it. Everything falls on a scale. Too much or too little is never good. It's never ever good. So having that balance in things, being able to, like, really look at it and be like, okay, these two have to coexist at the same time to have the perfect formula. It's so easy to be like, yeah, life is about balance, like making sure that you have balance and doing what you need to do in everything like that. I agree 1010%. But sometimes it's so hard to adapt that mentality, or to have that mentality when you're like, okay, like, what does that look like? What does that mean to have balance? I think having this mentality has pushed me to have more balance in my life. It has allowed me to align with everything that I know is meant for me, and it has helped me be able to be in situations and get myself into new rooms and new doors, and just genuinely open up a new perspective of life for me, and a new chapter of life for me. I'm all about mind over matter, and sometimes you can say it thousand and thousand and thousand and times again, but if your mind can't comprehend it, if you mentally cannot be in that space, it's just never going to happen for you. You are genuinely coming to a place with your mental space where it's like, it's balancing itself out. Like, okay, yes, like, I understand there's negatives and positives, and I understand that we kind of have to focus on some positives in some situations. We have to focus on some negatives in some situations. For me, I genuinely, with all of my heart, like, I've been hearing this for the past few months, like, you just have to have balance. You have to have balance. You have to have balance. And I'm like, what is balance? I get it. Like, I understand the concept of it, but how am I supposed to get balance into my lifestyle? And I would continuously try and try again. And like anything, like, the more you practice, the better you get at it. But I was finding myself falling too short in one area and too high in another area. But when you start to fully understand it and apply it in your life, it makes a huge difference. But first, you have to fully understand it and you have to grasp the idea of it. And I just thought that this would be a really good way to speak about it. I know that it helped me, so I want to do whatever can help other people as well. And obviously, I love self growth. I love developing, greater versions of myself. And I love when everyone else also does that. I love to see people's transformations. I think that is one of the most beautiful things ever, is growing old in life and being able to learn. And healing is one of those things that never stops. So I love a good continuous and evolutional journey. Thank you guys for being here with me. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.